How do you... Wait, is it like significant?
Gotta chew your carrots.
Oh my god.
All right.
Wait, that like is so much
Hey!
better.
This is for YouTube. And your education. All right. We have y equals the inverse sine of x, yeah? And I think that we are familiar enough with this to say we could take the inverse sine of, or the sine of both sides of this, and that would give us the sine of y is equal to x. You agree?
Yes.
That means the same thing, doesn't it?
Yes.
That means the same thing. Okay. This we don't know how to take the derivative of. But this we should be able to take the derivative of. True? How would we take the derivative of sine y equals x? Do the dy dx stuff. Implicit differentiation, right? That's what we call that.
Okay.
Implicit differentiation. So we're going to take the derivative with respect to x of sine y and the derivative with respect to x of x. So with respect to x, the derivative of sine y is cosine y times dy dx. Derivative of x with respect to x is 1. All right. And so what is dy dx?
1 over cosine.
1 over cosine y. Problem with that is what? It is not in terms of x. We need it to be in terms of x. Yes? So how do I turn cosine y into something that is in terms of x? Yeah. Find the inverse. What do you mean?
Like solve for like the other side, maybe? Or like switch the variables?
Nah, that won't work. Good idea, though. Other ideas? This is quality content. Sitting here in silence.
Hey guys.
It's like ASMR and with education.
Shh. We're learning. There's two good ways. What do we know about sine of y? Sine of y is equal to x, right?
Yes.
True? So if I could have this as sine y somehow, couldn't I convert that back into x? Well, how can I convert cosine y into sine y?
Multiply by cotangent.
No. Think about your Pythagorean trig identities. Sine squared plus cosine squared equals 1. So that means that if sine squared y plus cosine squared y equals 1, then what does cosine y equal?
1 minus.
Isn't it like
Should be the square root of 1 minus sine squared y.
yeah.
True. So this should be equal to 1 over the square root of 1 minus sine squared y. And what is sine of y?
X.
X. So I can just replace the sine of y with x. And we get that the derivative of the inverse sine is 1 over the square root of 1 minus x squared. What's another way we could have gotten cosine y? Nope. Also no.
Is there another trig identity?
Watch this. This is going to be great. You're going to love this. We're going to use orange. We don't usually use orange, but. The nice right triangle, yeah? What's the sine of y?
X.
X. Sine of y. That means y is an angle? Sine is opposite leg over hypotenuse. X is x over 1, right? So opposite is x and hypotenuse is 1. Using the Pythagorean theorem, what is the other side? Square root of 1 minus x squared. Well, we had cosine y. What is cosine y equal to? It's adjacent, square root of 1 minus x squared over hypotenuse, 1. And so we could have just done 1 over cosine y, which is root 1 minus x squared. So either way, we get the same thing. Point is, your derivative for inverse sine is this.